Hello, my friends. How are y'all doing out there? He's had a great day. Happy Wednesday. We are halfway through the week and just almost a full week away from Christmas. Hello, Blue Eyes and Smiley. Thank you for being here. Hi, Brown Eye Girls. How you doing? Let's see. We got Hey, TJ. There's Cheryl. How you doing? Well, hi, Psychic Amelia. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Well, thank you all for being here. I do appreciate it. How did you like my little Christmas video? I went back in time and pulled a couple of pictures from here and there of our Christmases, and I snuck one in of my grandbabies. I don't know if y'all saw them on the stairs, but that was from when we were in Colorado. And, anyways, it's almost Christmas time. Yay. I hope everybody's ready. Doesn't quite seem like Christmas for me because it's the first time in my entire life I've never decorated for Christmas. My daughter-in-law did, but she knows where she wants everything, so she just decorated it all. And I'm just kind of sitting here. So it just hasn't been very Christmassy for me. So I am trying to get in the spirit because the grandbabies are all excited. Tomorrow is their Christmas program. I will be at school bright and early in the morning so that I get a good seat to get to watch them. Hey, Lori. Thanks for coming in with us. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, we got Christmas program tomorrow, and then they get out of school early on Friday, and it is the Christmas holidays. So, like it or not, here it comes. But anyways, I was gonna put. Let me see. I'm gonna put this up here. This has my Cash App. Asking y'all to subscribe, to join the membership. Thank you for being here. All the good things that are just everyday life on YouTube. But I think everybody that's pretty much here is been here for a while. So thank y'all so much for just being here. Um, and if anybody would like to send a Cash App, I would be more than grateful to receive that. It is been a hard road lately and not working. It takes a toll, but guys, please say a prayer. I have a interview tomorrow with our at our junior high here, and they are looking for a teacher's aide and called me. So I'm going to go talk to them tomorrow. That will make life different for me. So much better. But we shall see. Anyways, TJ, be glad when Christmas is over. Oh, yeah, Smiley. That would be really good. Of course, my one granddaughter that is in junior high this year, she told me, you cannot be my grandmother when you're at school. And her mother teaches at the junior high, and she said, her mom says, I'm not mother either. So, anyways, it's with special ed kids that just need that little extra help. I'll be in there with them. So I'm excited about that. I think that would be an amazing thing to do. But we shall see how it works out. But, anyways, guys, what a crazy time on the YouTube street. I don't seem to understand why it is so important to people that they put out a version of what they believe to be one person taking out trash at the end of their driveway. And that is what they are saying is the flashlight video. Everything else we see is landscape lights and 2 floodlights on a house that is way down the road. And guys, all I can say is more distractions, and more distractions. And then, since Mob Crew was going to do a part 2 tonight, of course, there's a post on X talking about how they just need to grift and get more money when it has nothing to do with that. This child, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, is missing from his home. He has missed the end of school. He has missed the whole summer. He had missed starting back up at school, moving in with his dad, and he has missed his 16th birthday. Christmas is next week. And it looks as if he may be missing Christmas as well with his family. But instead of people helping to find him, they seem to be trying to tear down anything and every little tiny piece of information we have that can help find out who was involved with this. And so I'm not going to sit there and play the flashlight video. You guys have already seen it probably hundreds and hundreds of times. But this is what I'm going to do. I went, let's see. Let me find it here. Okay. I went to Google Earth and I got some pictures. The arrow on the top left shows the back of the Proudfoot house. As you can see, the 2 white lines are where the top of the ravine is. That is like a little drainage ditch there. When the one flashlight goes out of sight and we don't see it for just a little bit, it's pretty much obvious they're going down that and coming up. This shows you, and if you can see it, I hope you can, because I don't know that I can zoom in on it. But towards the white truck on the right side, there is a circle. That is where the camera is at. that caught everything. It was angled across their driveway to catch enough to come right where the picture it stops, right where the road and the grass part stop on the picture on the left is about where the car would be at. I have an arrow here showing the back of the Proudfoot home. Straight behind it, you will see like a L shape corner. That is the end of their fence and then the back part of their fence. So that's the bottom of their fence and then the back of their fence. And that shows the ravine right there. I don't know if this helps you guys, but it helped me a lot. This first house, I put an X across it. That house is not what we're looking at. The one beside it, you can barely see the top of the roof there. That is where the Proudfoots live, and where this circle is approximately where the car was. Sorry about that. Now, this will show you right across the street from where we were just at. So here's where the car pulled up, straight across to the left side of the picture will be this driveway and house. There is the camera exactly right there. Now, when I was watching Dolly and Clue and fiance was up there, he said he had his camera up there. It was strapped onto a ladder. He had it up there about the same height. The only thing is his camera was zoomed in. It was not like the people's camera already adjusted up there, because theirs had a wide range view. And theirs come catty corner across this driveway and straight across into that open courtyard area back there that we were just looking at. His was tightened up and his was angled more to the right side of this picture. And therefore, he was cutting out the curve of the street. And I will show you this one here. Oh, where did it go? Is it this one? That's where we were. There's this one. That is the angle that Clue and fiance had going. They left the whole bottom part of this driveway completely not in the picture. Where we saw the picture itself, it covered the front of the white truck where the truck is and everything out to the road. So I hope this helps, because I didn't know what else to do. That is the angle of the camera where it shows their driveway. That red part goes across there where that car would have been at, and that covers the whole courtyard area. So, anyways, I hope that helps you guys to understand, because the nighttime part of it is hard to see. But I do want to go back to here, straight across from the end of the driveway on the other side of the road is where the car was that was waiting. And when the headlights and the tail light came on, there was a truck that was sitting at the very bottom of this driveway over into this grass a little bit. And the instant that the headlights and tail lights come on, the outside of that truck illuminated. it just shined. So it was very obvious what was happening there. And guys, I understand their purpose. I understand what they're trying to do. And they were trying to make it simple and easy to understand. However, it wasn't done correctly. And I'm not a rocket scientist. I have no clue, how to measure and do all the things. And on Dolly's channel the other night, fiance was talking 60-degree angles and moving 40-degree angles. That leaves 20 degrees and this, that that's not what nobody needs. Nobody wants to hear all that. What they need to hear is this camera covered this angle in this whole section, but he had a whole different version of, on his camera, he had it to where, let me see, I think I'm going to try something. Not that one. Nope. Okay. See where this car is, and just to the left of this car is a house, just barely. You can barely see that house past on the other side of that car. That is where he says the floodlights came from. They actually were on the house with the X. But he's saying it came this way, right past on the right side of that car, right where the grass starts in that tree area right there is where his angle cuts off and does not show anything in the courtyard area. So it was very confusing to a lot of people when you take a whole different angle. And this is the angle that the house across the street had. And that's what we were seeing in the flashlight video. But once again, we got to talk about it. We got to explain ourselves. We have to go back and completely have a conversation about it so that we make sure everybody understands we're not grifting. We're not trying to do stupid stuff over here. But there were two flashlights. One is outside. The other one starts to come. You see the other one moving. These flashlights are moving. According to fiance, it must have been like the camera phone, the phone when he was recording he must have been shaking and making it look like it was moving. No, there are two flashlights that move. End of story. There is a car waiting. And according to SF Investigates, he knows exactly the two cars that came in and out of that neighborhood, but he doesn't feel the need to tell law enforcement. And if that is not impeding in an investigation, I don't know what is. But that seems to be a pattern. It seems to be anytime we start to make progress on any type of subject, they come in, they give their version, and then we got to sit here and completely not talk about Sebastian. We got to talk about what they've talked about so that nobody is left in the dark thinking, well, maybe they're right. They know right from wrong. They have their own eyeballs to look and to see these videos. They have a brain. They know exactly what they're doing. Just like they did with the email they put out. The email that Crabtree and Clue sat down with the Proudfoots. The Proudfoots handed out and bring out their laptop, show them the whole email where it looks like all the houses, the homes, the special need homes was Seth's idea. But it wasn't. It was not Seth's idea. They were willing to send Sebastian. Katie and Chris were willing to put Sebastian in this one particular home without checking into it. Because when Seth looked into it, he said, not no, but hell no, my son is not going there. Because kids were dying. They had been abused. Nobody wants their child to go through that. But Katie and Chris were going to put him there because that was a quick get rid of him type thing. And Seth is the one that said, let me do some looking. Let me find something. Yeah, the Three Stooges. I just don't understand why we have to sit here and go back over all this crap and why they feel it necessary to continue to put this crap out there. Sorry. You know, Psychic Amelia, I really think that we get to this point of talking about a certain subject or a certain thing and it hits a little too close for them. So then they have to come out with something to totally 100% distract everybody away from it. And it's not right. It is so obvious to everyone except those who follow them. It's so obvious. They are not trying at all to find Sebastian. They're not trying to do what's right. They're doing what the mother and the stepfather want. Me too, Lori. Me too. I hope that they are shaking in their boots 100%. And I think we have gotten them to the point to where they're starting to get a little rattled. You know, because Chris's mommy's been speaking out on Facebook quite a bit. She's defending her son. It is something. All the things been out there for a long time, several months. And his mommy all of a sudden has to come out and start talking and defending him. Because things were getting a little too close, I think. And because of that, mommy got to come take care of things for him. Guys, hold on. I gotta blow my nose. Hold tight. Okay, sorry about that. um, that's Cruella. Yes, that would be Cruella. It's just a horrible, sad situation when you have a mother of a missing child. Well, good evening, Melissa. But you have a mother and a stepfather of a 15-year-old boy, now 16. You have the CPS cases that have been happening within that home. There was turmoil, obviously. And we hear the stepfather with his own words say how Sebastian had hoped that the caseworker would come in and make him leave and leave his own home. And that stood out to me so strongly because I just wonder, guys, is that really what did happen? Is that really what happened? Was it that he could not be there and that is why he was not there those weeks in February? Because for a very strong man like Christopher Proudfoot, I don't think he would take to that very kindly. And I could see, hey, Guidance, how are you? Hi, Janice. I didn't say hi to you a while ago either. But I could see someone as strong and very opinionated as Mr. Proudfoot, that if someone was to tell him he could not be in his home, that would not sit very well with him. And for Sebastian, him being gone was probably the biggest relief of his life. And Katie, the wife and the mother, seemed to be stuck in the middle. And it's really sad that this whole situation might have played out this way, because a mother should not have to choose between her husband or her child. But I do believe, and it is my opinion, that Christopher put Katie in that situation. Now we see them at Texas Roadhouse sitting there. And I don't see Katie having conversations with Sebastian. There was no laughing. There was no smiling, no relaxed conversation. Sebastian looked a little nervous, as if, oh, hi, Charles. Thank you for being here. Yes, it is Guidance. When you marry, it's a package. No choosing. No, no, no. And, you know, if Chris gave her the ultimatum, me or your son, could you imagine, as a mother and as a wife, being that person that has to make that choice? But I know me as a mother, if it would have been my husband to tell me I would need to choose, I'd go start packing his bags for him, because those are my children. If I gave birth to them, I have a connection to those children stronger than any person on this earth. And I am going to be the one to stand beside my children no matter what. And no man, my husband, the father of my children, it would not matter to me if there was any type of ultimatum given. I would pack his bags for him. I married and I had a son that was a year and a half old. He later, when he was 4 years old, adopted him to, to give him his name. He wanted him to have his name because that was his son. And when our oldest had grandchildren, he could not believe he was an actual grandfather. Didn't matter that there was no blood connection there. That was his grandchildren. And I couldn't imagine him telling me at any time when we had gotten in a fight or argument or whatever to choose between me and my children. That's horrible. That's the most horrible thing to ever tell a mother. But the saddest part to me is if that was true, if that really happened at 1008 Stafford Court, guys, Katie might have made that choice. And being just a few weeks from that CPS case happening and Sebastian going missing, it's just almost too planned out. It's almost too perfect. Hey, y'all that's coming in. Hey, Reality and Terry. And hey, YouTuber. Anyone else I missed? Oh, JH, how you doing? Aloha, aloha, my friend. Thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate y'all. Yes, Psychic Amelia, that's my question. Why do that when CPS is right there? When they're watching? Does that even make sense? I have gone over it 100 times in my head. Am I off? Am I just assuming? Have I looked at the whole picture well enough? Is it possible? Hey, Reality wins. How are you doing, sweet lady? But guys, is it possible that Sebastian actually did walk out that door? And then I get to that very thought and I stop. And let me tell you why I stop. I stop because there is no video anywhere outside that house of that child. There is no scent anywhere leading away from that house of that child. I stop because in February, unless he went hauling ass out that door for the safety of his life, he would have put shoes on and took his phone. So then I wonder, was he fixing to bolt and he got pulled back? I don't know what happened, but I know that after it comes to leaving Texas Roadhouse, and this is before any video that we saw, once they get home from Texas Roadhouse, all of the details of that night seem to change. And there's not very many details. So it would have been easy to keep up with, but we hear the mother tell different versions on different lives that she was doing. And there is no changing the truth. So that makes me stop in my just stop completely 100%. Whatever happened after Texas Roadhouse. Whatever decision was made for Sebastian or he made for himself, whatever happened after Texas Roadhouse, because a mother would not sit there and tell different stories. A stepfather would not sit there and just make fun of the fact that he always wanted to be a ninja and he outsmarted the law because he stepped on the front porch and poof, he was gone. Kids do not disappear. People do not disappear. And with that being said, I don't care what anybody else out there in YouTube land thinks. Sebastian did not just disappear. Yes, reality, they made Sebastian out like he was a problematic child. And guys, we saw the video. He was very well mannered. He was sitting proper. He was not making a mess. All those people walking past him, all the teenagers going by him, it never triggered him or anything. He didn't seem to be bothered by any of the surrounding noise. And that tells me that everything they have told us, the mother and the stepfather, they're nothing but a piece of shit because that child was not as bad as they made him out to be. Now, I understand that kids just on any given day can have a bad day. I get that. I get it. They pitch a fit. They want their way. I get it. But when it comes to making him out to be this way every single day, and it is hard to live with. And then we see him. I was so angry after watching that video for the first time. I had tears, but it was angry tears in my eyes. Because I had thought of this child one way. I had seen pictures of this child and I pictured in my mind what he looked like. But we saw a whole completely different child. We saw a growing young man who sat at a table and had no problem with his table manners, had no freakouts when there's a lot of activity happening around him. And guys, I don't know if y'all been in Texas Roadhouse, but ours here for sure. And every one I've ever been in, they're loud. they are loud. It echoes in those places. And this young man that I saw was nothing what was pictured, because the pictures that were put out were of him younger. And that's what I expected him to be. But the mother who sat at that dadgum table and took 2 pictures of him, 2, not 1, but 2 pictures within hours of him coming up missing. They need to make a missing person's flyer. And she gives them old pictures of him. She didn't want him found. It was obvious from that very moment. And I was so angry. I don't understand a mother who can do that. And guys, I'm going to tell you, from what I see, and in my opinion, allegedly, all the things you want me to say, I'm saying it to you right now. But in my opinion, she did never want him found. Never, never did she want him found. It is horrible to stop and think of a mother that could be that way. And we know that Chris is too easy to run through wives. I don't believe Chris looks at marriage as a commitment, of a lifetime. I don't believe he looks at a person and accepts who they are. He expects his wife, her son, to adapt to who he is. Sebastian's cat had to go. Well, Christopher, couldn't you have gone to the doctor and got you some medicine so you're not so allergic? He didn't like the way Sebastian cleaned his room. Sebastian had to put all of his stuff in a trash bag and carry it to the garbage can himself, because Chris didn't like that. The snack cabinet had a camera there where Chris could talk to Sebastian, where he could tell him to not eat the snacks, go to bed. Which to me was really kind of funny, because, it's been said that Chris never bought the snacks. He wasn't going to buy snacks for Sebastian to sit there and eat all up. So Katie bought the snacks for her son. But yet Mr. Chris could tell him when to eat and when not to eat. And yet he possibly gave the ultimate command of all. It's me or him. You choose. In my heart, I want to think, no, that's not what happened, because that's not something I can understand happening. I couldn't begin to understand it. But the history seems to be playing out in a certain way that you can almost hear it. You can almost hear it. It's almost as if, he's actually given us some truth. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Dr. Sue. But it's almost as if he's given us some truth when he speaks. And when it comes down to it, guys, I said this on my last live, but this is so crucial. And I don't think Katie quite realizes yet. But Christopher's mother has come to his defense on all the Facebook pages out there, it seems like. She's throwing shade onto Seth and what a horrible father he is and a horrible person and how bad he has done her son. But by golly, there's not one mention of Katie. And if what we are hearing is true, that there is conflict within the marriage, there's turmoil boiling within that marriage, and they have made a decision to take some time apart. My first thought was, oh my gosh, is Katie going to disappear as well? My second thought was, what is his mother going to do? Turn everything off of Chris onto Katie, possibly. I don't know, and I can't speak on all that, but those were my first thoughts. Yeah, Brandon, I agree with you. What happened to the cameras? Where'd those cameras go to? That was all a playing thing, you know? They get home from Texas Roadhouse 6:35. No, about 6:45-ish. 6 o'clock the next morning. 11 hours later, guys. 11 hours. They had to clean up, take things down, rearrange things, make things work. Whatever they had to do, they had plenty of time to do it. Oh, Melissa, I'm not sure if there's a prenup, but I would imagine his mother would make sure that he was taken care of somehow if there was money involved. That would be my guess. It's not going away, is it, Brandon? Not at all. And I'm ready to sit on the front row and watch it all play out in a court of law. Because whatever happened to Sebastian, there is someone, possibly more, but definitely someone that is responsible. And finding out little things along the way, it's almost too obvious. Oh yeah, Lisa. She will definitely save her baby boy. Definitely. And Katie will be understanding Nina a little more and a little more. Yeah, Blue Eyes. You be doing that. I'll be your support buddy. I will tell you this, Brandon. I saw that dating app. I saw his picture. I read his profile. That is 100% fact. I agree, Star Child. It's not going to end well for Katie. And like I said, my first thought was, oh my God, is Katie going to disappear like her son did? These people have almost mafia mentality. They've gotten away with things for so long. They have ruled over people, told people how to do it. His mother even had his record wiped clean and things taken away from his record after something inappropriate that happened. And any mother that would go to that length, and instead of allowing her child to learn a lesson from it, is not doing anything to help that child of hers. But when we get down to it, you know, Sebastian's gone. That's kind of funny, TJ. Anyways, Sebastian is gone. And I don't give a crap about those parents. The mother, the stepfather, the step grandmother who calls Sebastian this child instead of saying my grandson. This child that we are here for. He's still missing. And as the friends of Mr. Chris, the YouTubers that are now friends with Mr. Chris, the more the crap comes out, the more obvious it is. And having a creator tell us that he didn't quite understand the reason behind an email needing to be seen by the public. That just told me how stupid he was to start with. And he's a good target for them. Because that email was to make Seth look bad. But all it did is backfire back on them and make it obvious to every one of us what was happening. All right, Sue, go get you some coffee. Y'all were finally getting cooler again. It was 82 the other day, yesterday. And today it was only in the low 60s. Woo! What a cold front we're getting. I was looking at the weather app. Christmas Day is supposed to be 70 stinking degrees. Blah. It's not going to even seem like Christmas. But oh, I tell you. Brandon says he has been lost in this circus. Where is Sebastian? TBI, FBI, and why didn't TBI update the Amber Alert photo? And they don't issue an Amber Alert for a runaway. You are correct. But you know what would have been nice, Brandon, is if Sebastian's mother would have gave an appropriate photo of Sebastian to start with. One of the most current ones being sitting at Texas Roadhouse hours before he came up missing. But I guess those were too important to be handed off to someone else to use. And she didn't want the same picture out there, I guess. That was another obvious. It seems like they're trying so hard to keep things covered up. They're getting sloppy because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out they're full of shit. Melissa, you got cold and rainy in the 60s, huh? I tell you, being in Texas, you just don't know. You never know. Several years ago, probably about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago at Christmas time, I was heading down to go see my son. He was at my mother in law's. He was doing some work down there for them. And I went to go spend the day with him. And y'all, I'm not joking. I wore shorts and sandals and a sleeveless shirt because it was up in the 90s that day on Christmas Day. It was so hot. But um you smoke a turkey that day? Yeah. Oh Lord. But you know, this kid, it's not a game. It's not a game. Not at all. To go do some fishing. Yeah, that would be a good day to do it. That was for sure. I just put the link out. If anybody is interested in coming up and giving your opinion and talking and whatever, you are more than welcome to. You do not have to, but you are more than welcome to. Oh goodness, Pink Warrior. You must be up in the northern parts or out west. Doesn't matter what they have on anybody from years ago. It doesn't pertain to Sebastian. Yep, that's it. I don't care about what happened. I don't care about what happened to anybody unless it pertains to Sebastian and the life he was living and what led to him coming up missing. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. When Chris's mother's sitting there, taking up for her son, it just, you can't help but think about all the times in the past she's done the same thing. It's so obvious. She wouldn't be fighting so hard if the truth was already put out there. And it's sad. It's sad. I couldn't imagine not knowing where my child is. It's hard enough not having your child with you, but not knowing intensifies that tremendously. It's a little too weird for you. Well, hello, Chief Blasting Bass. How you doing? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Brandon, he should be, but no, he thinks he's mightier than all the mighties out there. And when you have a car that is actually connected to the flashlights that go across the back of the common area, the very night a child goes missing, and he seems to know who the drivers are of the two particular cars that are in and out of that subdivision, then yeah, he he's probably just following orders, you know, messing with an investigation. Let's keep everything distracted. Let's not get anything out there. Let's make sure that we put some bullshit out there so that Sebastian and what happened to him does not get talked about. Because at the end of the day, that boy's missing. Something happened. And we want to know where he is. We want to do everything we can possibly to keep his name out there. But we over here do not want to play stupid games with stupid people. Yeah, Star Child. They've been through all the playing, huh? And that's the thing. If you're going to sit there and tell a lie, just a straight up lie, you can go over the conversation. You can go and you can plan it, memorize the script, whatever you want to do, but the truth overrides your brain and you slip up. Holly says, Lolly, did you see the video Nick put out? He's asking CP and KP to submit their phones and how Seth is the one cooperating, unlike them. Well, if I'm not mistaken, they did take their phones or whatever. But my question is, did they take the phone that Katie had in her hands at Texas Roadhouse? Because I believe that one is a burner phone. That picture she took on that phone is nowhere to be found, is what I'm hearing. But Holly, when you got connections like Bobby and Carter, makes life easy for you. So, you know, that's the way it is in their town, in their neck of the woods. That's how it works. Which, speaking of Carter, I hear he's the one that had the conversation with Green Hoodie. Isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient? It's so freaking obvious, people. But the other side will take it and run with it that, law enforcement cleared them. Doesn't matter that that's Christopher's buddy. Yeah, Holly, there is a device that will recover everything off your phone that's ever been on your phone. Yes. Right. TJ said, in my opinion, Carter went to the donut shop. There was somebody in a green hoodie. He had a conversation. He's not lying. Isn't that something? Oh, that's $1 million question right there, or quarter of a million, I guess you could say. Brandon. Yeah, it's a very good question. But I will say this, in no way in hell am I going to believe that woman was just passing through the middle of the cars and it happened to be Katie's car, because that woman walked up there and stood by her door for 1 minute and 20 seconds till Katie walked out of Texas Roadhouse. There is an exchange that is made. It is clear as day. So, yeah, I don't care what Craddock says. I don't care what Bobby and Carter have to say. We saw it with our own eyes. The woman walks up there and she stops. She doesn't leave until she gets to have that few seconds with Katie for whatever the handoff may be, and she waves to Sebastian. And I will always think Green Hoodie has something to do with this. That, yeah, exactly, Holly. That was not just someone that was passing through. No, not at all. Not at all. It's just a little too obvious. Yes, Pink Warrior, that's it. She says, well, at least, well, if anything, at least we know how Sebastian looked like right before he went missing and not going by those pictures that made him look younger. Exactly. Oh, I have been doing some research on good Green Hoodie. I pretty much got it nailed down to a few people. No, she didn't go for no takeout. She went in, didn't even go to the bathroom, made her way through, and went out the door. Yeah, it's all just too obvious. It's all too obvious. Yeah. Maybe, Melissa. You never know. That's the thing. There's so many things that could be, it's just so obvious. Hang tight again. My nose is running. I'll be right back. Okay, okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. This head cold's got a hold of me. It won't let go. Oh, is everybody ready for Christmas? Pink Warrior, ours is you pull up in a car and they come out and ask you what your name is, and they go get your order. TJ, behave. Oh, goodness. I think Green Hoodie is CP's sister. No, I would say no. Not the sister. Not the sister. Hey, Peggy. It's really sad to stop and think that we've been talking about Summer Wells for 3.5 years. This will be her almost 4 years. And here we are with Sebastian, coming up close to a year. If there is something that was done to him, then guys, it's going to be hard to find him. Because if Chris or his family was involved, Chris has already told us with his own words that Sebastian would never be found. Chris's own words, guys. Sad. He knows. He knows. And if we just stop and go back and we think about it, hang on, let me see here if I can find it again. Right here. Peter Hyatt said it the best. Let me see. I still got it. I'm going to put it up here on the thing for you. There we go. Peter Hyatt says, over many years, in-person interviews for child abuse allegations. This man is a professional. He's been doing this for a very long time. But when a boyfriend or stepfather introduces the topic of discipline, choosing his own words, then the child was physically abused. In missing children cases, analysis from transcripts, when the mother's boyfriend or the stepfather talks about discipline, the abuse is central to why the child went missing. The latter is far more intense to the child's unknown to law enforcement and the public status and plight. Sebastian Rogers' case is an example of the guilty seeking to control a narrative that he knows will condemn him. The guilty knowledge rises to the surface if we listen critically, not emotionally. It is his own words, not mine, not yours, nor the interviewer. We've heard Christopher say many a times how he would ask Sebastian to clean his room and it wasn't done to his satisfaction. So then what happens? Sebastian has to load all of his toys in a trash bag. He has to take his own stuff out to the trash can for the garbage men to take away. Sebastian had to get rid of his cats before Chris could move in with them because Chris was allergic. Sebastian had to get rid of his snakes, the snake that he loves so well, because he wasn't given enough attention, according to Chris, in the way he thinks that should have been handled. I wonder what was taken away from Chris during his time in that home with Katie and Sebastian. What was taken away that was Chris or his idea? Or did they just all bow down to Mr. Chris? Was Katie so in love with Mr. Chris that she lost sight of the fact that Sebastian grew in her belly for 9 months? Is she so putty, so much like putty in Chris's hands? That she would do anything he said to do? What if Mr. Chris was the one that did something and Katie knew it wasn't going to be good, but didn't stop it? I believe whatever happened, Brandon, I was told by someone that, yes, that is the case. He was asked to leave the home until the investigation was concluded because of the amount of CPS cases and the severity of the assault, the harm that was being done. Let's put it that way. So, yes, is what I have been told. So, if Katie knew that her son was going to be going away somewhere, and she knew that Christopher was the one taking her child off, and she had a script she had to go by, do you not think that that woman would have questioned things? I would think so. But then again, I would think that a mother would be at the prayer vigils for her child that is still out there somewhere. I would think a mother would not be happy to sit in a courtroom just to put a protective order up against a YouTuber because they don't like her. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life. And to know the little connections that connect the judge and Mommy Dearest is incredible. It's all over with high officials in that area. Yes, Betty was getting close. That is my opinion as well. Anytime anybody starts getting close, they get threatened. Because we know tires have been slashed, cables have been cut, all kinds of things have been done. But I wonder who could have been doing all those things to the people searching. Why would they want to? Why would anyone want to stop someone from going out and looking for a missing child? Why? To me, guys, in my opinion, that speaks volumes. Volumes. That is so outrageous that it actually is so obvious at the same time. Because we do hear about people going out to search and they continue to be set up in some way or another. Exactly, Brandon. Why would you stop people from searching? Only guilty people do that. You said those words very well, Brandon. Way to go. Because, in my opinion, Christopher and Katie are both guilty. They know where Sebastian is. Katie knows what happened. If that child did not make it home from Texas Roadhouse, Katie would know because we saw Sebastian in the car with her when they left Texas Roadhouse. If he went to his room and something happened there, Katie would know because she was in the same house as him. Katie would know because her stories change. She can't speak the truth, and therefore her words change up all the time. We hear different versions of that night and what happened. We've all heard it. We've all witnessed it. And there is no one but Katie that knows the truth. She was there. Someone doesn't come into your house, take out a 15-year-old boy in the middle of the night, unless something was done to drug him, to quiet him. Good night, Holly R. You have a good night, okay? Have a good time at work. Be safe. Good night, Peggy. Guys, I apologize for coming on so late. There were so many people going live a while ago that I just stopped. We don't know, Brandon. But that would explain how that child could have been taken out of the house without everybody hearing him scream. It's possible that Mr. Chris's arms were scratched up and bit and all the things. And it was Sebastian that did it. It's very possible. But you see, guys, when you have friends on the law enforcement, it's easy to cover things up. It's easy for all the things to be covered up instead of checked on, and looked at. Yes, Star Child, this is not the end. We will not stop. No one can make me stop talking. And I will continue to talk. I will continue to say what I feel and what my opinion is. And I don't care if someone else has a different opinion. That's okay. And they can sit over there and talk about me all they want to. It's not going to be a distraction for me. It's not going to bother me. And that's what happens when you start hitting on some true facts over here. When you start talking about things that get a little too touchy, the Proudfoot minions start speaking, covering you, talking about you. Well, then you feel like you need to defend yourself. But people, I don't have to. I have, under my name, my opinion, my channel, my opinion. It is my opinion. But I make my opinion based off of what is actually happening. And to think that I'm just sitting here hearing somebody else talk about something and then I'll just decide I'm going to talk about this. No, folks. I have mods that will sit with me on the phone till 4:00 in the morning, going over things, looking things up, talking about things, going through stuff, digging as far in as we can get, because the answer is out there. And we're going to figure something out. We're going to keep talking until it becomes so obvious and they keep getting pissed enough that they're going to slip up. And I'm still waiting for Mr. Chris to come up and come on my panel. Because I'm telling you, I'm not enamored by him. I'm disgusted by him. But the questions I have don't need a whole book explained about it. It's a simple yes or no question. And that yes or that no will speak volumes. Hey, Bo, how are you doing? But he doesn't want to do that. He's been asked, and he doesn't want to do that. Brandon, I think all that's just BS if you ask me. I think they have a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, blue eyes. I'm not pervy enough for him. Well, I don't know, guys. It's insane that we had to even start our conversation out with let me show you in the daytime exactly what we're talking about because the minions have come out and they have made this video and trying to make everybody think we're looking at landscape lights and one man walking his trash to the road. No. And it is so obvious, even to me. I'm just a woman, but I figured it out. Their camera was zoomed in so tight on one certain area, it didn't even match the real video that caught it. The one camera that happened to be not the kind that gets jammed. Oh, Brandon, he is more than welcome to come up here. But well, guys, I am going to let y'all go. I got a busy day tomorrow. I got some things I need to finish up here tonight and swap my laundry out, little things like that. So, oh, I would be very nice. Yes, I would be, TJ. I very well would be. Very nice. Yep. I just have some big questions people haven't asked yet. I want to know. And I make it simple yes or no. Doesn't need a book. We don't need all the things. We just want a yes or no answer because every question can be answered yes or no. But I thank you all for being here tonight. If you haven't, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me on your way out the door. I do appreciate each and every one of you. We've had some really great conversations going here in chat, and that is amazing. And I'm so glad that, guys, y'all feel comfortable enough to chat and that we can get this all talked about and we'll continue on. We're not going to stop because I made a promise to that little boy when I was saying a prayer when I first learned about him missing. And I told God that I would continue with his case until he was found. Yes, TJ, the time we stop is when Sebastian is brought home. Yes, we will see it through. So, anyways, but I do thank you all so much for being here. I ask that you just have a super great night. Have a good day tomorrow. I'm going to try to come on a little earlier tomorrow, maybe like around 5 o'clock. Try to get ahead of all the others that start coming live at one time. So, yeah, just be kind. You may be the person that makes all the difference in somebody's life, and you may not even know it. So, just spread the love. Oh, your daughter and your grandbabies. Oh, Star Child, my daughter did the same. My daughter had her daughter on her birthday, and we walked into the hospital to go up there to see her when she first got there. And we got up there and we were walking into the hospital 27 years later at the exact same time. It was really cool. We looked at each other. We're like, man, this is kind of like deja vu. But I was so glad it was her, not me. Lord. No, no, no. But I tell you what, my grandbabies are my world. My granddaughter had her band concert last night, and it was her very first one. And we all went and we sat there and we cheered for her, and we got to go out to eat for her. And I just love seeing their little personalities come out and who they're going to become and what they're going to do when they grow up. It's just so fun having those conversations with them. And it reminds me all the time that life is so harsh out there. And I think that by watching my grandkids and seeing the excitement in their eyes watching their cousin last night and her sister, and just watching the excitement as they saw her play for the first time. It just reminded me of what life is really like through the eyes of a child. And that's how we should be looking at life as well. But we as adults allow the nasty and the hate come through. And that's so sad. And that nasty and that hate, I'm afraid, is what has happened with Sebastian. So y'all stay strong for him. Make sure that when you listen to a channel, that it's a channel that is there for him. A channel that is willing to talk about Sebastian and what's really happening, and not making up things and not trying to twist the truth. And then we will be back again tomorrow, and we'll have some more stuff going. I'm trying to work on a fun stream for us to do for leading up to Christmas, maybe this weekend, maybe the first of next week. But I want to do a little fun Christmassy thing. Trying to figure out what we can do, but y'all stay tuned because we're going to have some fun one of these nights. We're just not sure when yet. Keep me in your prayers as I go for a job interview tomorrow. This one kind of fell in my lap. And I know all the people involved with this, so hopefully they know me enough to know the person I am. And that will be a very happy way to start my new year. So I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. And with that, I'm going to say love and hugs, everybody. We'll see you soon. Good night.